again. I've just come back from the laboratory cleaning up for the day, and I thought of storage. I thought I should have a little chat about that because not all of our chemicals will keep forever, and I thought I'll explain what's what. We've got epoxy resins. They're the longest lasting. They will keep for really possibly up to 5 years. The next group are the silicone rubbers, which are about a year. And then your polyurethanes, they've got a pretty short shelf life. We're talking about 6 months or so. But there are a few things you can do to extend the shelf life of the polyurethanes, and also the epoxy resins play a few tricks, and we'll show you how to overcome those. Now with your polyurethane, as I said, it's got a very short shelf life. The thing is that when you've finished with the product, if you've got only a very small bit left, you might as well discard it because it's likely to absorb moisture. But if you've got a half or so of your vessel left, you can actually put some heavier than air gas on top, which is called polypurged. Now what does this do? Well, it deprives the polyurethane of grabbing moisture molecules which it wants, which will cause it to go into a solidified form. And by taking the polypurge product and squirting down there for about a vessel of this size, say about 5 seconds, that'll do is it'll give you that barrier. And if it was a smaller vessel, proportionally smaller shot, bigger vessel, 20 litre, you might do it for 20 seconds. Now that will put your lid on there, and then you'll have the moisture depriving barrier stopping the urethane from sort of crystallising. The other thing it can do when you use it, if you pull it out and it has picked up moisture, you'll find when you do the casting, it'll actually foam up. So there's an indication too that it's failed in its storage life. That's the trickiest. Now another product that can have a storage issue is the epoxy resin. The resin itself and the hardener can both go into a solid form. Just like honey goes seeded when it's been stored in the cupboard, it goes all solid and white, both your resin and hardener can do this. Now there's no damage in that process. It's just like water goes to ice and you can melt it and use it again. Now if you come across this and you see your resin, which has gone from that to something that's solid and white, all you do is take the product, loosen the lid on the container and put it into a larger vessel, like an outer jacket. Get your kettle and boil up a large amount of water, and then put the boiling water in along the side so that you have the water about 3/4 of the depth of the actual vessel. Leave it there and it will get that heat going into the resin and it will cause it to come runny again. If it's not, it hasn't come thin enough for you, just repeat it with more hot water and you'll get it back to a normal state and you can use it. But one other thing, let the resin come down to room temperature before you use it, otherwise you'll get no pot life. It'll just go bang and set off too quickly for you. So bring it down to about 20 before you use the product. So we've talked about polyurethanes, epoxies, and one other thing is silicone rubbers. With silicone rubbers, you want to keep them no more than about a year. Two things will happen. Your hardener will accelerate like fury when you try to use it and you'll have no working time. And you may find that the silicone has got large amounts of like similar lumpiness that we talked about here. It can go into a globule white form. So you can't use it in that state. And one last thing, talking about large objects and keeping them, large packs I should say, and keeping them so they don't seed up. If you're on concrete in your garage or your factory, pop a bit of wood underneath, a couple of bits of wood, just so that it doesn't get that chill into it, because it'll absorb, particularly from concrete, all that cold. Well, there we are. That's the pretty basic little steps and rules, but that's all about storage for now. Okay, till I see you next time. Oh, 1 minute, there's one other thing. We've gone to a lot of trouble here. We've actually marked our labels A and B. Match your cap to your container. A, B, even colour-coded. Make sure you don't cross them when you go to store them, because I'm telling you, you'll be really cross when you try to get them off next time. Okay, see you then.